Hi there, pupils! Welcome aboard! I am delighted to see you. We are set to start our word venture and language journey for today. In our quest, we will keep a sharp lookout for barriers that are keeping you from learning English with ease. I am Teacher May, and I will be with you every step of the way. Oh, we are joined today by our friend Janella. Hi, Janella! Could you help us review the lesson that we had last week?
I would love to.
Great! Our previous lesson was about composing inverted sentences with correct subject and verb agreement. We learned that an independent clause is also called a simple sentence. A sentence has two main parts, a subject and a predicate. The subject is the topic of a sentence. The predicate tells us about the subject by providing more details about it. Nouns and pronouns are the words that can act as the subject of a sentence. Verbs, whether they are action or linking verbs, start the predicate of a sentence. Action verbs state an action. On the other hand, a linking verb connects the subject to its predicate. Both action and linking verbs have different forms based on its tense and the subject it needs to agree with. A sentence in natural order has the predicate after the subject, but a sentence in inverted order has the predicate before the subject. A sentence, either in natural order or inverted order, observes correct subject-verb agreement to avoid confusion. Let us check your assignment on subject-verb agreement. Directions. Find out if the subjects and verbs agree in the following inverted sentences. Copy the sentence if the subject and the verb agree with each other. Otherwise, rewrite the sentence with the correct subject-verb agreement. Number 1. There is 5 students in the library. Let us figure out the subject. The subject is students. Students is a regular plural noun. The predicate is in the library. As you can see, the linking verb does not agree with the number of the subject. The be verb is a singular linking verb. For the sentence to be correct, it should be, there are 5 students in the library. Number 2. Inside my pocket are my red pen. Let us identify the subject. Correct! The subject is pen. Pen does not have the suffix s, so it is a regular singular noun. Let us now determine the predicate. The predicate is inside my pocket are. The be verb are does not agree with the number of the subject. It should be is. The correct sentence is, inside my pocket is my red pen. Our third sentence is, in front of the television sits my 2 cousins. What are we talking about in the sentence? That's right, the cousins. The suffix s indicates that cousins is a regular plural noun. What details are said about the cousins? Very good. They are in front of the television. The predicate of the sentence is in front of the television sits. But wait, does the action verb sits agree with the number of the subject cousins? No, that is right. Instead of having sits, the base form of the verb should be used instead. The correct sentence is, in front of the television sit my 2 cousins. I hope you are doing okay. Let us proceed to number 4. Under the table are our cat. We are talking about the cat in the sentence. What type of noun is the subject? Cat is a regular singular noun. What is a predicate? Yes, under the table are. But does the linking verb agree with the number of the subject? That is right, it does not. Instead of having are, the be verb should be is. The correct sentence is, under the table is our cat. We will now have our last sentence. Number 5, in the classroom was some old desks. You might say there is something wrong in the sentence. Yes, you are right. We are talking about the desks. Desks is our subject. It is a regular plural noun. What details are said about the desks? Right, the desks are in the classroom. The predicate is in the classroom was. But does the linking verb was agree with the number of the subject? The answer is no. The sentence should have the be verb were to agree with the number of the subject. The correct sentence is, in the classroom were some old desks. What score did you get? If you got 4 and above, I would like to commend you for a job well done. If you got lower than that, you may reread the previous lesson and do the unanswered activities in your module. Remember that I have never lost my confidence in you, my sailor pupils. Our lesson for today is composing descriptive sentences using different kinds of adjectives. For this lesson, we will determine what an adjective is, identify forms of adjectives, and use adjectives in sentences. Did you get excited hearing what's in store for us today? Oh wait, I think we have a visitor. Teacher Juan! My friend, good morning!
Good morning, my friend, and good morning to our sailor pupils. It's nice to see you.
It's such a pleasure to see you. What brings you here?
I wonder if you could come along with me. The magic ship is waiting for us.
Oh, a magic ship? Splendid! Come and join us, sailor pupils! We will be seeing top tourist spots in Luzon, the Visayas, and Mindanao.
I feel as if we went back to the olden times. Look at the houses. Aren't they beautiful to see?
I agree. Calle Crisologo is a street where Spanish structures can be found. Most of what we can see here were houses of rich families and Chinese Filipino traders.
Amazing. I am excited for our next stop.
Look over there!
Is that Magellan's Cross?
Yes, Magellan's Cross is historical. It resembles the cross planted by Ferdinand Magellan when he arrived here in Cebu.
Thank you for sharing. Where is our last stop?
Here, to the highest mountain in the Philippines.
Is that Mount Apo?
That's right. Mount Apo is well known to mountain climbers too. They say it will take you more than 3 days to climb it.
I see.
Did you enjoy our excursion to the different places in the Philippines? From the trip that we had a while ago, we used adjectives in these sentences. Can you determine the adjectives that we used in each of the sentences? Let us see, but we first need to know what an adjective is. An adjective is a word that modifies a noun and a pronoun. It tells us what kind, which one, how many, how much, or whose. As a modifier, an adjective makes a noun or a pronoun more specific by describing or limiting it. For example, Calle Crisologo is a street where Spanish structures can be found. What kind of structures can be found on Calle Crisologo? That is right, Spanish. Spanish modifies the noun structures. Do you notice that Spanish is written with a capital letter? It is because it is a proper adjective. A proper adjective is an adjective formed from a proper noun. Let's review what a proper noun is. A proper noun is a name of a particular person, place, or thing. It always begins with a capital letter. In the case of the proper adjective Spanish, it is derived from the proper noun Spain. Let us have the second sentence. Magellan's Cross is historical. What kind of cross is the Magellan's Cross? Correct, it is historical. Historical is an adjective. It modifies Magellan's Cross. Have you noticed that the adjective historical appears after the subject and the linking verb? This is because historical is a predicate adjective. A predicate adjective is an adjective that follows a linking verb and modifies the subject. Our final sentence is, Mount Apo is well known to mountain climbers too. Could you figure out what the adjective in the sentence is? Yes, well known. It describes Mount Apo as a mountain that is popular with mountain climbers. Well known is an adjective that is composed of two words, well and known, joined by a hyphen. This means that well known is a compound adjective. A compound adjective can be used in the subject or predicate portion of the sentence. A compound adjective is an adjective made up of two words that modify the same noun. The three different adjectives that we discussed are the proper adjective, the predicate adjective, and the compound adjective. Let us now go to our next activity, and let's see if you can figure out what adjectives are used in the different sentences. Number 1, aside from the carvings on its wooden doors, San Agustin Church has a Mexican interior that everyone should see. What type of adjective is Mexican? Correct. Mexican is a proper adjective. Mexican comes from the proper noun Mexico. Number 2, the Tubataha Reef is popular as a diving site in the Philippines because of its coral walls. What type of adjective is popular? That is right. The adjective popular comes after the linking verb is, so we call it as a predicate adjective. Number 3, a shrimp catching expedition with bamboos and nets, followed by a dinner of the cooked catch, is also available when one visits Donsol. What type of adjective is shrimp catching? Yes, shrimp catching is a compound adjective. We have two words, shrimp and catching, joined by a hyphen. Number 4, the Chocolate Hills has same-sized mounds located in Carmen, Bohol. What type of adjective is same-sized? Very good. It is also a compound adjective modifying the noun mounds. Number 5, the Banawe rice terraces is a magnificent example of farm terraces resembling steps going up to the sky. What type of adjective is magnificent? The adjective magnificent is part of the predicate in the sentence, placed after the be verb is. If predicate adjective is your answer, you got it right. How many correct answers did you get? A mistake is fine, but if you got more than that, let us have this next activity so you will not be down in the doldrums. I know that you can be better through practice. Directions. Determine the type of adjective in the paragraph. The Philippines is a tropical haven in the Pacific. It is gifted with an abundance of natural wonders and awe-inspiring beaches. Each of its islands is unique, yet all of them offer exquisite places to swim, to eat, and to learn about the rich history of the country. Centuries-old churches and old houses are a fascination too. They display Western influence and aesthetics that have stood the test of time. Time's up. The adjectives in the paragraph are tropical, awe-inspiring, unique, centuries-old, and Western. Now, let us find out what these adjectives are. Tropical is a predicate adjective. Awe-inspiring is a compound adjective. Unique is a predicate adjective. Centuries old is a compound adjective. And Western is a proper adjective. How did you do with identifying adjectives? I can say that you are on the right track if you had no mistake. If you had 2 or more incorrect answers, you can answer the rest of the activities in your module. Let us recap what you learned with me today. An adjective is a word that modifies a noun and a pronoun. It tells us what kind, which one, how many, how much, or whose. We studied 3 different forms of adjectives: proper, predicate, and compound. A proper adjective is an adjective formed from a proper noun. A predicate adjective is an adjective that follows a linking verb and modifies the subject. A compound adjective is an adjective with 2 words that modifies the same noun. This will be your assignment for today. Directions: compose your own sentence using these adjectives. Number 1, Filipino. Number 2, colorful. Number 3, brightly colored. Number 4, European. Number 5, diverse. That ends our language journey for today. Always remember, learning a language is like a voyage of discovery. Set a course, take heart, and soon you'll be in shipshape and Bristol fashion. Till our next adventure, bye!